Right. Hello all, this is Soundwave52 back here in Infinity Evolved with a little bit of an addendum. I neglected to show you guys, oops, shoot, one of the worlds and one of my more prouder moments. Since you've all seen the end. Yeah? You've all seen the Nether. I showed you the last millennium. Well, there was one dimension, and I wasn't going to show you the Deep Dark because, no thanks. But there was one I missed. One I think you'd rather enjoy. The Twilight Forest. So without further ado, let's jump in. Now, as we arrive here, you can tell that this is definitely not like our classic Minecraft world. For one, the trees are gigantic. I mean, look at this. Also, as the name suggests, the world is cast in eternal twilight. Yes, and also some of the trees have cicadas. These trees are so massive, you can climb inside of them and crawl to the top. Here's my little fort. Well, house. Fort. Whatever. Now, I believe I have something in one of these. I'm not going to turn around because I need to... Because, spoilers. Oh, bloody hell, I don't have the map. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's go over here. Hopefully the mob doesn't spawn when I go in. Alright, I slew this one. Right. So, as you've probably gathered, this place is a little bit different than your standard mob dungeon. Scattered around here are various bosses. Each boss needs to be defeated in a specific order, because certain areas are blocked excuse me, by a specific barrier. Each boss has specific tactics and specific mechanics that you need to exploit. Pretty much, it's a boss rush. A bit like Legend of Zelda or Final Fantasy. So, here is the order I went. The first port of call is usually the Naga arena, where you face off against the Naga. Your next port of call, if I could just find one. Ah, perfect. Here, the Lich Tower. At the top of this massive, sprawling dungeon lies the undead Lich, in which, once you slay him, you can make your way to the next dungeon. Within this dungeon lies various undead and monsters, including, of course, our various types. Spiders, skeletons, zombies, etc. After that was... Oh. Not that. Actually, wait. That was... actually, yes, that was right. Was... Ow, ow, ow. This. The Minor Shroom Labyrinth. Within this massive sprawling are various monsters and creatures, including minotaurs. Ooh, creepy. And also various other mobs that are exclusive to the Twilight Forest, such as beetles, redcaps, goblins, etc. Once the Minor Shroom bit the dust, I headed to the fire swamp. Yes, fire swamp. And it's earned its title. See those smoking geysers? There's also flame geysers around here. At the center is a cave, wherein you'd have to face against a Hydra. He is no longer with us, of course. I defeated him personally. And, of course, lighting his cave are various, excuse me again, ores you can prospect. Back at base, next port of call is the Night Oops, shoot. Is this. Hold on. It's a little pitch black. Because, my friends, we are in the Darkwood. A whole shell of forest covers us. This is the Goblin Fortress, wherein the Night Phantom and his minions live. I made my way through here and eventually vanquished the foul creature. Eventually, after making my way through the forest, just speed things up, I should reach our next destination. Notice the forest has changed the color, because we're getting closer to a shadow that dwells within the forest. The Urghast's Tower. Within this foul mausoleum lies the experiments unknown to man. The Urghasts. It was quite an experience climbing this tower and eventually reaching its peak. But my journey was far from over. With the Urghast defeated, my next port of call was the glacier. And before you ask, no. The teleport, not all my areas are linked with a teleporter, unfortunately. See, the Twilight Forest is mostly populated by these large trees, mushrooms, and various other land masses. Ah, here we are. We've arrived. Surrounding this area are various creatures, including these caves, home to a rather nasty breed of Yeti. But its fur was the only way I could survive, moving further northward, towards the Ice Queen's Glacier. Once on it, I made my way northwards, and eventually arrived at the Ice Queen's Aurora Castle. Quite impressive, but also quite hazardous, given the factors of what makes this tower home. Various ice elementals and creatures made this frozen fortress their haunt, including the vicious Ice Queen herself, who I eventually slew. The last place is actually right on my doorstep. And I do mean on my doorstep. This massive, this almost impassable fortress of brambles. You couldn't cut through them, as demonstrated here. It would take ages to get through them. So, I needed a strategy. I needed a powerful magic. And the only ones who had this magic were the giantkin. Yes, giants. As in Jack and the Beanstalk. But to do this, I would need magic beans, which I would need to take from the local ogres. Once the ogres had given to me the magic beans, I planted it in the local podstool, and this is the result. A beanstalk. Grows up and up and up into the clouds until finally I reach the land of giants. Of course, this is far from a castle fit for a giant, but within them had the resources I needed, including a giant pickaxe. I returned to the ogre's fortress, broke their huge obsidian vault, and within contained a magic lamp, which allowed me to burn away the brambles until I gained access to the Twilight Castle. Now, currently, this place is uninhabited, since no mobs besides the normal ones that spawn in Minecraft spawn here. This was possibly planned for an endgame dungeon or raid, in which the player would venture through this fortress, eventually ending at the central keep. There are these strange shields, possibly linked to keys. This leads further downwards, to what it looks like some form of prison. Again, I'm not sure what this was used for, but it's called a dead rock. So, again, I am unsure what this place was used for. I refer to it as the Crystal Prison, Castle Prison, since it looked like a prison, with various color-coded magical cells dotting the area. I continued onwards, wondering what else I'd find, until I reached the castle's peak. Not that impressive, huh? That's it. This was supposed to be the arena for the final boss, but, of course, he hasn't been implemented yet. So, yes, this is the Twilight Forest. A rather unique dimension in itself, with plenty of loot. Here's all the items I collected while dungeoneering. Here are the giant pickaxes I mentioned. And I do mean giant. I mean, look at these things. Below here, armors from the goblins, yetis, hydra blood, naga scale, night phantom, all quite the armory. And here are the trophies of all the bosses. The Naga, Lich, Minor Shroom, Hydra, Night Phantom, Urgast, Ice Queen, and of course, the lamp. No, there's no genie. Sorry, folks. But enough waffling. It's time we get back to our own dimension. I hope you enjoyed this little side journey to the realm of Twilight. Oop. So this is Soundwave 52. See you next time.